We have talked about LastPass in some other videos, but I want to just re-emphasize a couple features and do a couple short, brief videos on LastPass because it's important that we understand how we secure our passwords and usernames. Let's face it, we have lots of usernames and passwords that we're required to have, and how do we do that more efficiently? So let's go ahead and talk about the sign-in process in this video, and then how do I know that all of this information is actually secure? So let's go ahead and talk about just a simple sign in. We could hit sign in. As you see, I'm at lastpass.com. I could hit sign in. If you don't have LastPass, go ahead and sign up for an account. You can do that as well. Then what we'll do is we're going to go ahead. Now I've downloaded the browser plugin for Internet Explorer. Notice it here. And then if you go to Chrome browser, it's also here in the upper right hand corner. And so let's go ahead and go back there. When you sign on, when you click on sign in here, you have a couple options. One, you can type in your master password, or you can take and hit use the screen keyboard. Let me use the screen keyboard. And the screen keyboard shows up here. All right. So you just hit that. Now, why would I use a screen keyboard? Well, if you have a virus or you're very concerned, or let's say you're using a public computer and you want to sign into LastPass and you want to make absolute sure that nobody can find your information, you're going to use a screen keyboard. And what this does is this allows you to enter in your information without the fear of a keylogger getting your information. So a keylogger within the system, it goes ahead and it will grab everything within your system. So it's a virus that actually mounts onto your computer. And let me just illustrate this real quick here for you. So we have our computer that sits here, and we get attacked by a virus. And this virus does keylogging. So it can't log things that are coming to the screen, but when you sit on your keyboard, sitting at your computer terminal, right, and let's just say right now you're at a public computer and you're using LastPass.com, and you type in on your keyboard, right, this is a bad drawing of a keyboard here, so I can hear the laughter from here. That's really what Jeff is drawing for a keyboard. So here, let's just say I'm hitting my first, I'm kind of punching these keys to type in my username or my password. What a keylogger does is it actually watches and captures this information. So it's kind of documenting everything that it has. And then the hacker, the bad guy, can come in. He can come in and look at this as well, and then use your information here. Just go to a browser and use it on LastPass himself and get to all of your stuff. So if you're using a public computer, you may want to consider, instead of just typing it in, you may want to go ahead and use the on-screen keyboard. And so here you just go ahead and type, and then of course you type in your password. So let me go ahead and do that here. Hold on one sec. And you want your password to be very long and complicated for what we're doing here. Okay? But let's go ahead and we're going to sign in. And remember, you want your password to be as long as humanly possible. And you want to have it as something that you remember with a variable within the password that changes frequently. So let's talk about that real quick here. So what do I mean when I talk about something that changes quickly? So let's go ahead and there's a way to clear this. I apologize here. Let's go ahead and clear. And what I mean is this. Let's say that you like to, I don't know, that you love cats. Okay? So you may have a password that says, I, lowercase, maybe a big L, O, and maybe for the O, let's replace some things here. Love, and then let's put in a date. Let's just put in the month and the year, the current month and the year. So let's say 8/14, and then cats. Now, that is a pretty secure password, so that works pretty well, but let's make it a little bit more secure. We would then take this and say I still love, but let's make this a 0. Okay, love 8/14 CATS. Now that makes it a little more complicated to find out what your password is, and then we can go one step further and to make it easy for you to remember is that we're going to change this date. So periodically, I would suggest monthly that you may want to change that date as well. So I love, and let's say now it's September of 14, 9/14 cats. All right, so this is some different ways to create passwords that this would be your master password in LastPass. So every month you're changing that password. It's easy to remember that. Or maybe instead of you want to dice it up a little bit, maybe on 9/14 you don't say cats, you say dogs. Or whatever, right? You pick a different animal every month. Or maybe instead of love, you put hate. So whatever it is that makes it easy for you to remember, you can see that you have multiple options here available for you. Just get creative on the way you do this master password. Now, the last thing I want to show you today is Yubico. So Yubico is a key, a second factor authentication. So we're going to hit login, and then we're going to hit, it's going to prompt us here for my YubiKey. And I'm going to hold my finger down on my key. This is a picture of the key. It inserts into the USB port. The green light comes on when it's ready to go. And I'm going to hold my finger on for 1 second. Now, if it's a like a telephone, something that you don't want to use your YubiKey all the time, you can say that it's trusted and then ignore the second form of authentication. I suggest that you always use dual factor authentication. But let's go ahead and hold our finger. 1. And we hit authenticate. And now it brings me into what they call my LastPass vault. And within my LastPass vault, I'm going to see all types of things within my vault that I can use. And then here, notice that we have turned to red here, and we have the username that illustrates up here to the right hand side. And then I can look for something. Let's just say I say LinkedIn, and I want to go to LinkedIn. All right, and so I'm going to just click on LinkedIn from here. Now, what's important to note here is that if I hit edit, I can see my LinkedIn URL. I can see what it is, what my username is. I have it set for auto logon, and notice here my password. So I'm going to show you a part of my password by hitting show, and now you can see a part of my password. Notice I'm fully green here, meaning that I'm very secure. And then I'm going to go ahead and just hit this and see what happens. Now I'm going to go to LinkedIn. Notice here it's signing me in automatically. It's put in my credentials, and now I am on LinkedIn. And so if I go to home, I can see my profile, and I'm logged on as myself. So anyways, that is how you use LastPass, and really more importantly, how we manage the usernames and passwords that we use in our everyday lives.